Hey, Cowboys Nation. Today, we are diving deep into everything you need to know about the upcoming clash between the Dallas Cowboys and the Arizona Cardinals. And trust me, there's a lot to unpack. Starting with the quarterback position, Dak Prescott has been performing at an elite level this season, and there is no doubt he is among the very best in the league right now. When you look at his consistency, his ability to read defenses, and his overall efficiency, he is clearly in that top tier alongside a handful of the most explosive quarterbacks in the National Football League. Prescott's ability to create big plays through the air has been one of the defining factors of Dallas' offensive success this year, and it will be absolutely critical in this matchup against the Cardinals. Arizona's pass defense has had moments where it looks solid on paper, but when you break it down, there are clear vulnerabilities that Dallas can exploit. Their ability to generate pressure and create turnovers has been inconsistent, and that could play right into Dak's strengths. Prescott has always shown a unique skill in reading defensive formations, especially against two deep safety looks, which is a staple in Arizona's defensive strategy. The Cardinals rely heavily on split safety coverage, often dropping two safeties deep to prevent big plays downfield. On paper, that may sound like it limits the offense, but Dak has shown time and time again that he can dissect these coverages. He is able to recognize when zones open up underneath and when there are opportunities to push the ball downfield, and that makes the Cardinals' preferred defensive schemes less effective against a quarterback of his caliber. Prescott's combination of arm talent, decision-making, and timing with his receivers gives the Cowboys a clear edge in exploiting the spaces created by these defensive looks. Now, moving on to the matchup between man and zone coverage. This will be an area that could dramatically influence the flow of the game. The outcome here will depend largely on who Arizona puts under center. If it is Kyler Murray, his struggles against man coverage this season could give Dallas a significant advantage. He has not been as effective when forced to navigate tight, man-to-man situations, and that could allow the Cowboys' defensive backs and linebackers to play more aggressively and disrupt routes. On the other hand, if Jacoby Brissett starts, the story changes slightly. Brissett has shown better efficiency against man coverage, completing a higher percentage of his passes and creating more yards per attempt. However, even in this scenario, Dallas has the tools to exploit mismatches, particularly with the athleticism of players like Micah Parsons on the edge and the depth of the defensive backfield. The Cowboys can adjust their alignment to put pressure on Brissett while still maintaining coverage integrity, forcing him into uncomfortable situations where mistakes are more likely. Every single read, every defensive shift, and every timing adjustment will be critical, because these quarterbacks operate differently, and Dallas has to anticipate both styles of play while maintaining the discipline needed to execute their own schemes effectively. When it comes to personnel packages, Dallas' use of 11 offensive personnel will be a key factor against Arizona's defensive sets. The Cowboys have relied heavily on this formation, which combines one running back and one tight end with three wide receivers, creating opportunities to exploit mismatches both in the passing game and on the ground. The Cardinals often respond with dime personnel, using 6 defensive backs to counter spread formations. This means that interior runs, short passes, and play action can all become effective weapons if Dallas executes with precision. Establishing the run game early can force the Cardinals to adjust, opening passing lanes and creating bigger opportunities for explosive plays. The ability to mix run and pass while keeping the defense guessing will be essential for Dallas to control the tempo of the game. Prescott's quick decision-making in combination with the offensive line's protection and the receiver's ability to find openings could lead to significant gains, particularly in situations where the defense is forced to rotate personnel or cover multiple options. Defensively, the Cowboys have specific areas they must focus on to limit Arizona's offensive threats. Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison Jr. represent two of the Cardinals' most dangerous weapons, particularly on third downs and in passing situations where precision and timing are critical. Harrison, in particular, has been inconsistent recently, but his talent cannot be underestimated, and the Cowboys will need to apply pressure while maintaining disciplined coverage to prevent him from exploiting gaps. Deep coverage remains an area of concern, as Dallas has historically struggled to prevent big plays downfield. Limiting explosive throws and forcing the Cardinals to operate in shorter yardage situations could be the difference between a controlled game and a shootout. Whether Kyler or Brissett is under center, Dallas will have to adjust their coverage schemes accordingly, balancing aggressive pressure with careful attention to receivers threatening deep zones. Individual performances will also be decisive. Osa Odigizwa's presence on the defensive line is crucial, especially in the absence of Micah Parsons. Odigizwa has the athleticism and skill to impact both the pass rush and the run game, but he must step up consistently to maintain the Cowboys' defensive effectiveness. On the offensive side, CeeDee Lamb is a central piece of the attack. His timing with Dak Prescott and ability to create separation from defenders will be vital for exploiting gaps and generating big plays. Whether it is intermediate routes, deep shots, or quick slants, Lamb's execution will have a direct impact on the Cowboys' ability to sustain drives and score points. Every player, from the offensive line to the defensive backs, has a role to play, and execution at the highest level will determine not just the outcome of this game, but also the momentum Dallas can carry forward into the rest of the season. As we look ahead, the Cowboys enter this matchup with a mix of advantages and challenges. Their offensive firepower, quarterback efficiency, and strategic personnel use provide clear paths to success, but defensive vulnerabilities and the potential for explosive plays by Arizona cannot be ignored. Each decision, each matchup, and each adjustment will matter, and the team that executes more consistently will likely emerge victorious. The stage is set for a compelling battle, and every snap, every read, and every play has the potential to shift the balance of the game. Dallas has shown they can perform under pressure, and with focused execution, they have the tools to dominate this matchup. As we move further into the matchup, the focus shifts to how Dallas can exploit Arizona's weaknesses and maintain control over the flow of the game. The offensive line will be under intense scrutiny, as their ability to protect Dak Prescott and open running lanes could define the outcome. The Cowboys line has had moments of brilliance this season, but consistency is key, especially against a Cardinals front that can disguise pressure and create confusion for both the quarterback and the offensive backfield. When the line executes at a high level, Prescott has the time to survey the field, find mismatches, and deliver accurate passes that turn manageable gains into explosive plays. Establishing rhythm early in the game will be critical, because once the defense begins to adjust and anticipate routes, the margin for error decreases. The line's cohesion, communication, and reaction to stunts and blitzes will dictate how effectively Dallas can sustain drives and maintain momentum throughout the game. On the receiving end, CeeDee Lamb continues to be the focal point of the passing attack. His ability to win one-on-one matchups, adjust routes based on defensive alignment, and maintain separation from defenders is a defining strength of this Cowboys offense. Alongside Lamb, other skill position players must execute precise timing patterns, take advantage of mismatches, and consistently gain yards after the catch. Prescott's vision and decision-making in these scenarios are crucial. If he identifies even a small opening in the coverage, he can turn it into a high-impact play, keeping the Cardinals off balance and forcing them to adjust on the fly. The chemistry between Prescott and his receivers will not just be a factor in gaining yardage, but in sustaining drives that control the clock and limit Arizona's opportunities on offense. Defensively, the Cowboys must focus on containing key playmakers for the Cardinals. Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison Jr. are both capable of creating game-changing plays, particularly in critical third-down situations. The defensive unit must be disciplined in coverage, maintain gap integrity against the run, and generate pressure without overcommitting. For the linebackers and secondary, every read is crucial. They must anticipate routes, communicate quickly, and adjust to pre-snap motion or shifts, because even a small breakdown can lead to a big play for Arizona. The Cowboys' secondary will be tested deep, especially against throws over 10 yards, which have historically been a vulnerability. By mixing zone and man principles intelligently, and by leveraging athletic defenders to disrupt timing and positioning, Dallas can mitigate these threats and force the Cardinals into shorter, more predictable plays. Pressure on the quarterback will be another decisive factor. Osa Odigizwa's performance on the defensive line is critical in this area. With Micah Parsons out, the Cowboys must generate consistent pressure from other areas to prevent easy throws and reduce the effectiveness of Arizona's passing game. Odigizwa's ability to collapse pockets, maintain leverage against blockers, and disrupt timing patterns will determine how comfortable the Cardinals' quarterback feels in the pocket. When pressure is applied effectively, it forces hurried decisions, reduces completion percentages, and can lead to turnovers or stalled drives. The defensive line's ability to control the line of scrimmage impacts both the passing and running game, and in a matchup like this, it could be the difference between victory and defeat. Running the football effectively is another element that could shape this game. Establishing a reliable ground game forces the defense to respect multiple threats, opens passing lanes, and allows Prescott to manage the game at his own pace. The Cowboys have shown versatility in using various formations to balance the run and pass, which can create opportunities for explosive plays and sustained drives. By mixing inside runs with misdirection, play-action passes, and quick throws, Dallas can keep Arizona guessing and exploit mismatches at every level. The offensive line, running backs, and tight ends all play a critical role in executing these strategies efficiently, and their collective performance could dictate the rhythm of the game. Special teams and situational football will also be critical. Field position, third down conversions, and the ability to capitalize on turnovers can shift momentum quickly. The Cowboys must execute flawlessly in these moments to maintain control and prevent Arizona from generating easy scoring opportunities. Every snap, every route, every tackle contributes to the overall flow, and attention to detail in these areas often separates the winners from the losers in tight matchups. Overall, this game is a chess match between two well-coached teams with complementary strengths and exploitable weaknesses. Dallas has the firepower, talent, and strategic depth to dominate, but execution must be precise across all three phases of the game. The quarterback's decision-making, the offensive line's protection, the skilled player's ability to create separation, and the defense's discipline and pressure generation will all factor into how successfully the Cowboys can control the game. Momentum swings will matter, and the team that manages to impose its will early is likely to carry confidence and rhythm through the rest of the matchup. With every player contributing in their respective roles, and with tactical adjustments made on the fly, Dallas has the opportunity to not only win, but to assert dominance over a formidable opponent. The timing, execution, and attention to detail across every play will be essential to capitalize on Arizona's vulnerabilities while neutralizing their strengths. Every pass, run, and defensive adjustment carries weight, and the team that executes with the highest precision will dictate the pace and ultimately the outcome of this game. Before we roll on, subscribe to Cowboys Wire News, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Your support keeps the Dallas Cowboys updates coming. Tell us what you think in the comments. The NFL world is buzzing tonight with one of the most surprising trade rumors in recent memory, and it seems the whispers have finally turned into reality. Sources close to team management confirm that MYLES Garrett, the dominant pass rusher whose presence has terrorized quarterbacks for years, is on his way to Dallas. Yes, you read that correctly. The Dallas Cowboys have reportedly secured Garrett in a blockbuster trade that is already shaking up the league and sending shockwaves through fan bases on both sides. For weeks, rumors swirled about Garrett's future, with speculation linking him to multiple teams hungry to bolster their defensive front. But few expected the Cowboys, a team historically known for big-name signings and bold moves, to land him. Garrett's ability to disrupt offenses, sack quarterbacks at will, and command attention on the field would instantly transform Dallas' defensive identity. For a franchise constantly chasing a Super Bowl breakthrough, this move could be the missing piece that finally pushes them over the edge. Details of the trade are still trickling in, and while financial terms remain under wraps, insiders suggest it involved a high draft pick exchange and key roster pieces, signaling that both teams are serious about reshaping their immediate futures. Cowboys fans are already taking to social media in a frenzy, speculating how Garrett will fit alongside their existing stars and imagining the nightmare scenarios for opposing quarterbacks. Meanwhile, fans of Garrett's former team are grappling with the loss of a cornerstone player and wondering how their defensive strategy will evolve without him. Beyond the numbers, Garrett's move to Dallas is symbolic. It signals a shift in the Cowboys' approach to free agency and trades. No longer content with incremental improvements, the team appears ready to swing for the fences. For Garrett, it's a chance to cement his legacy in a franchise hungry for glory and put his skills on display in a high-profile market that demands nothing less than excellence. Whether this trade becomes a championship-defining moment or a cautionary tale remains to be seen, but one thing is certain. The NFL landscape just got a lot more interesting, and Dallas has just become the epicenter of football gossip. That's a wrap from Cowboys Wire News. For breaking Cowboys updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Tell us your take in the comments.